In the late 1970s, the conflict on the border of Southwest Africa, now Namibia, and Angola was escalating. It was a war defined not by massive tank battles, but by insurgency, patrols through dense bush, and an unseen deadly terror buried beneath the dusty roads, the landmine. The South African police, deployed on the front lines of counter-insurgency operations, faced a critical challenge. Their existing vehicles offered little protection against the increasing threat of anti-tank mines, leading to severe casualties and hindering their ability to operate effectively in the vast, hostile terrain. A new kind of vehicle was desperately needed, one designed from the ground up to survive a blast and keep its crew alive. To solve this engineering crisis, a unique collaboration was formed. The South African police approached the country's premier scientific research body, the Council for Scientific and Industrial Research, or CSIR. The task fell to the CSIR's Defence Research Unit, led by visionary engineers like Dr. Vernon Joint. SAP provided the brutal reality of the requirements: a vehicle with excellent off-road mobility for the African bush, sufficient armour against small arms fire, and most crucially, the ability to protect a full section of troops from a double anti-tank mine detonation under any wheel. The resulting project was a perfect synthesis of operational need and scientific ingenuity, a partnership immortalised in the name of the vehicle itself, an anagram of CSIR and SAP, the Casspir. The CSIR team knew that simply welding armour plates to existing trucks wouldn't work. The weight would destroy mobility. Instead, they revolutionized military vehicle design. The core concept was a welded V-shaped monocoque hull. This angled underbelly was designed to deflect the upwards blast wave of a landmine outwards, away from the crew compartment, rather than trying to absorb it flat on. The entire crew capsule was raised high above the ground, further dissipating the energy. The suspension and wheel stations were designed as sacrificial elements mounted externally. If a mine was struck, the wheel and axle would be blown off, but the armoured citadel holding the men would remain intact, and the vehicle could often be field repaired quite quickly. The first prototype, built in 1978, was known as Flossie, a crude proof of concept, but it proved the revolutionary V-hull theory worked. Following successful trials with the prototype in 1979, the South African police accepted the design and placed an initial order. Manufacturing was awarded to a company called Henry Friedhof with the first production models. The Casspir Mark I entered service around 1980. The vehicle was tall, ungainly and imposing, but it was incredibly effective. It became the workhorse for the South African police units operating in the border region, most notably the counter-insurgency unit Koevoet, whose tactics relied heavily on the Casspir's mobility and protection to track and engage insurgents over vast distances. The Casspir was more than just a troop carrier. It was a pioneering feat of engineering that set the global standard for mine-resistant ambush-protected vehicles, a design born from necessity that changed the face of modern armoured warfare. The Casspir's journey from a revolutionary concept to a battlefield icon began on the factory floor and culminated in the unforgiving terrain of the South African border war. The Casspir was more than just a vehicle, it was a lifeline for the men who served in it.